Imagine this. The average American family spends around $300 a year just on laundry, but the Amish? They spend barely $200. How do they pull this off? It's not because they have some magical machine or expensive detergent. Their secret is a collection of 50 simple but brilliant laundry hacks that have been passed down for generations. These tricks don't just save money, they also make clothes last decades longer. And today, I'll share some of the most powerful ones that can cut your laundry costs by 80% starting right now. 1. Wash only on Mondays. In Amish communities across America, Monday is laundry day. No exceptions. This isn't just about tradition, it's practical wisdom. By dedicating a single day to washing, families avoid the constant energy drain of doing small loads throughout the week. Think about it. In most modern households, people toss in half-empty loads whenever it's convenient. That wastes water, soap, and electricity. The Amish system, on the other hand, is so efficient it can cut energy costs by 20% every year. It also forces organization. You plan your week knowing laundry is Monday. Period. No excuses. And if you've ever driven past an Amish settlement on a Monday, you'll see white sheets and colorful quilts dancing on clotheslines like a giant calendar reminder. 2. Cold water works best. Most of us were taught that hot water equals cleaner clothes, but the Amish know better. Cold water handles about 90% of laundry perfectly well. Heating water for laundry can cost an average family $150 a year. Money the Amish save without lifting a finger. Cold water also protects fabric colors, so your favorite shirt won't fade or shrink as quickly. Modern detergents are designed to work in cold water anyway, so paying extra to heat water is like paying to ruin your own clothes faster. Hot water is only really needed for heavily soiled work clothes or tough stains. Everything else, cold water does the job beautifully while extending the life of your wardrobe. 3. Mix your own soap. Why pay $12 for fancy detergent when you can make your own for about $2? The Amish whip up their laundry soap with just 3 ingredients: washing soda, borax, and grated bar soap. That's it. Not only is it cheaper, but it's also more effective. Bar soap is naturally concentrated and cuts through tough stains better than watered-down liquid detergents. Plus, homemade soap avoids all the unnecessary chemicals stuffed into commercial brands that don't actually help clean your clothes. Quick tip: grate your bar soap finely so it dissolves better, and store your ingredients in airtight containers to keep them fresh for months. 4. Vinegar instead of fabric softener. Here's an Amish grandmother's secret: white vinegar beats store-bought fabric softener every time. They use about a gallon a month, mostly in the laundry room. Just half a cup in the rinse cycle makes clothes softer than any 8-gallon bottle of fabric softener. Vinegar naturally breaks down soap residue, removes odors, and keeps fabrics absorbent, something commercial softeners actually ruin over time. Plus, vinegar is safe for both clothes and machines. No waxy buildup, no fake scents, just genuinely fresh, soft laundry. Sort by dirt, not by color. Most of us were raised to sort laundry into lights, darks, and colors. The Amish? They sort by how dirty the clothes are. Why? Because a lightly worn shirt doesn't belong in the same cycle as muddy farm jeans. When you mix soil levels, dirt spreads around and you end up rewashing. That's wasted time, energy, and detergent. Instead, Amish families create stations. Lightly soiled clothes go in one pile, everyday wear in another, and work clothes in their own heavy-duty pile. The result: cleaner laundry, fewer repeat washes, and clothes that last much longer. 6. Treat stains immediately. For the Amish, dish soap is the #1 stain fighter. It handles about 80% of common stains, and it's already sitting by your sink. The trick isn't the product, it's the timing. Stains are like unwanted guests. The longer they stay, the harder they are to kick out. Amish mothers keep stain kits by the washer because the faster you treat a spot, the easier it disappears. And if dish soap isn't enough, natural backups like lemon juice, salt, or hydrogen peroxide handle specific stains at a fraction of the price of commercial removers. Remember the 24-hour rule: treat stains the same day, or they're far more likely to become permanent. 7. Always fill the machine. Amish families never run half-empty loads. With their large households, it's easy to keep machines full, but even smaller families have a hack: the towel trick. If you only need to wash a couple of shirts urgently, toss in clean towels to fill the drum. You'll still get your items washed, but the machine runs efficiently, saving both water and electricity. Every load counts, so make it a full one. Most families think laundry is just about throwing clothes into a machine, hitting start. But the Amish know there's an art to it. Every step from how much you load to when you wash can save serious money while keeping clothes looking brand new. Let's break down some of their best-kept laundry secrets. 8. Perfect load size. The Amish are masters of balance. They know that overloading a washer ruins both clothes and the machine. When you stuff too much inside, water and soap can't circulate properly. Clothes come out half clean, and the motor strains itself into early retirement. But washing tiny loads is just as bad. It wastes water, detergent, and electricity, while failing to create the proper scrubbing action that only a full load provides. The Amish solution: find the sweet spot. A machine should be about 3/4 full, leaving enough space for clothes to move freely. This simple rule protects fabrics, saves money, and helps machines last years longer. 9. Wash at cheap times. Believe it or not, the time of day you wash matters. Electricity prices rise and fall depending on demand. The Amish figured out long ago that washing during off-peak hours can slash utility bills. Tuesday afternoons, for example, are often the cheapest time in many regions, because power demand dips after the Monday rush. Summer afternoons, however, tend to cost more due to millions of air conditioners sucking power from the grid. Weekends? Forget it. That's when everyone's home, and rates are higher. Check your local utilities' time of use pricing. If you shift your washing schedule to the off hours, you could save hundreds of dollars a year without lifting a finger, just by adjusting your timing. 10. Baking soda, magic. One humble box of baking soda replaces a whole shelf of overpriced laundry product. The Amish use it constantly because it's cheap, natural, and works wonders. Half a cup freshens everyday loads. 1 cup tackles strong odors. 2 cups handle heavy, dirty work clothes. Baking soda does more than deodorize. It adjusts the pH of your wash, so detergents work harder, dissolves protein-based stains, and neutralizes acids that cause stubborn smells. Unlike commercial fabric fresheners, it leaves behind no chemicals, no fake scents, and no residue that attracts even more dirt. For the Amish, fresh laundry doesn't need to smell like mountain breeze. It just needs to smell clean. 11. Soap nuts, nature's detergent. Long before eco-friendly detergents hit the market, the Amish were already using soap nuts, the dried berries of a tree that naturally produce cleaning suds. They're so efficient that just 5 pounds of soap nuts can wash clothes for an entire family for a whole year. They're reusable, biodegradable, hypoallergenic, and completely chemical-free. Best of all, they leave no buildup in fabrics or machines. While regular detergents leave a soapy film that dulls clothes and shortens washer life, soap nuts rinse away clean every time. It's proof that nature figured out laundry long before humans invented neon-colored liquids in plastic jugs. Hang everything outside. Here's one of the biggest Amish money savers: line drying. Around 85% of Amish families don't own electric dryers at all. Why? Because line drying saves hundreds of dollars every year, while being gentler on clothes. The sun naturally brightens whites, while fresh air makes everything smell crisp without perfume. And here's a fun Amish trick: they position heavy clothes like jeans or towels in the windiest spots, and delicate fabrics in softer breezes. It's like free energy from Mother Nature. If you've ever hung laundry outside, you know it doesn't just save money, it feels good too. There's something satisfying about watching clothes flutter in the wind like colorful flags of self-reliance. 13. Choose wooden clothespins. Sounds small, but it matters. The Amish swear by wooden clothespins because they grip stronger, last longer, and never melt in the sun the way cheap plastic pins do. Plastic pins are like fair-weather friends, Fine on calm days, but they'll fail you when the wind picks up. Wood grips firm, biodegrades naturally, and holds its strength even in bad weather. Proper pinning is also important. Heavy clothes like jeans need multiple pins spread out, while delicate fabrics need lighter pinching to avoid leaving marks. 40. Smart positioning. Even how you hang clothes matters. Amish families put the heaviest garments, like coats or blankets, closest to the posts, where the clothesline has the most tension. This prevents sagging and snap. They also use the sun strategically. Whites go in full sunlight for natural bleaching, while darks are hung inside out to prevent fading. Morning sun is best. It's gentle but effective, while midday sun can be too harsh, and of course they always pay attention to the wind. Clothes placed in the right direction dry in half the time. 15. Skip the dryer indoors too. When the weather turns harsh, the Amish don't run to electric dryers. They improvise. Barns, porches, ventilated indoor spaces become drying rooms. They space items on racks so air circulates freely, sometimes using a fan to speed up drying without high heat. Placing racks near a radiator works too. Warm air helps clothes dry gently without shrinking or damaging them. As one Amish elder joked, dryers are like hair dryers for clothes. They shrink everything and cost a fortune. 16. Read the weather. Finally, Amish families are natural weather readers. Cloud shapes, humidity, wind direction, all of it helps them decide when to wash and when to hang. It's a skill most of us lost when we started relying on weather apps. But for the Amish, looking at the sky is just part of daily life. And it keeps them one step ahead, ensuring their laundry dries faster and better. 7. Read the weather like the Amish. Long before weather apps, the Amish relied on the sky itself. Puffy white cumulus clouds, that usually means a clear, fair day. But when the sky fills with flat, grey stratus clouds, rain is often only hours away. Humidity matters too. If it's above 60%, don't even bother hanging clothes outside. They'll never fully dry no matter how much wind you've got. The Amish also pay attention to nature's little signals. Cows and horses heading for shelter, storms coming, birds flying low, rain's on the way, a sudden shift in wind direction or pressure, time to grab the laundry quick. And when the weather flips without warning, Amish families are experts at fast gathering. Clothes come off the line in seconds and get stored indoors to avoid a dreaded second wash. 8. Iron while damp. Here's a genius time saver. Don't wait for clothes to get bone dry before ironing. The Amish pull garments off the line while they're still slightly damp. Why? Because damp fabric fibers are softer and more flexible, meaning wrinkles smooth out in half the time. Think of it this way. Ironing completely dry clothes is like trying to straighten a stubborn horse. It takes twice the effort and still might not behave. Cotton and linen respond especially well to damp ironing. The result: crisp, professional-looking clothes with less heat, less energy, and less work. 19. Build drying stations indoors. Amish households are masters of indoor drying setups, especially when the weather isn't on their side. They use multiple drying racks at different heights. Lightweight items like shirts go up top where air circulates better, while heavy clothes like jeans stay lower for stability. Even in small homes, flexible solutions work. Folding racks, retractable lines, and wheeled stations that roll from room to room. Some families even rotate racks like a conveyor belt. Wash, dry, then move them straight to storage. Basements often become the perfect drying room. They're naturally cooler, ventilated and protected from outside weather, making them a year-round solution. 20. Master winter drying. If you've ever wondered how Amish families dry laundry in freezing Minnesota winters, here's the secret. They don't fight the cold. They use clothes hung outside in sub-zero weather will freeze solid, but here's the trick. The ice slowly turns directly into vapor through a process called sublimation. It looks wild, like frozen shirts standing stiff in the yard, but the clothes still dry. Indoors, basements and barns are the go-to. Ventilation is key though, because winter heating creates dry air that can trap moisture and cause mildew if not managed properly. So yes, Amish families can get perfectly fresh laundry even when it's below zero outside. Shield from the elements. The Amish don't just hang clothes and hope for the best. They think strategically. Heavy items like jeans or coats get extra pins and strong line support to prevent tearing in strong wind. Bright sun is great for whites but harsh on colors, so dark clothes are often hung inside out to protect them from fading. Rain on the horizon, quick gather systems, and even covered drying spots mean clean clothes don't get ruined by sudden showers. It's not just drying, it's protecting fabrics so they last for years instead of wearing out fast. 22. Shake out wrinkles daily. Here's a clever Amish hack. Instead of spending hours ironing, they simply shake clothes while they're drying. Twice a day, Amish women snap garments by their corners with a sharp downward motion. The breeze helps loosen fibers, and wrinkles release before they set in. Think of wrinkles like bad habits. They're easier to prevent than to fix later. This snapping trick eliminates ironing for about 70% of everyday clothes. Imagine how much time and energy that saves over a lifetime. 23. Keep a stain kit handy. Amish laundry rooms always have a simple stain kit ready to go, stocked with 5 natural ingredients that handle almost every household stain. No need for expensive sprays or chemical cleaners. The key is speed. Stains treated right away rarely become permanent, which means the right kit by your washer is worth more than any fancy product you can buy at the store. Amish families don't waste money on fancy stain removers you see on store shelves. Instead, they rely on 5 simple ingredients: salt, white vinegar, baking soda, hydrogen peroxide, and liquid dish soap. That's it. Together, these humble tools can handle almost any stain you'll ever face. Here's the shocking part. An Amish-style stain kit costs only about $15 and lasts for months, while a basket of store-bought stain removers can easily run over $50, and most of them only work on one type of stain. The Amish system is cheaper, simpler, and way more versatile. To keep these ingredients fresh, Amish homemakers usually store them in airtight glass jars instead of plastic. Why? Because glass doesn't react with chemicals, and it protects them from moisture damage. They'll even keep the whole kit near the washing station, so it's always ready for emergencies. Now let's look at how they tackle different stains. 24 blood stains. First rule: never use hot water. Heat literally cooks the protein in blood, locking it into the fabric forever. Amish farmwives know to use cold water immediately, sometimes even teaching children this simple rule, so they can act fast if they get hurt outside. For fresh blood, sprinkling salt works wonders. It draws moisture out of the fabric like a sponge. If the stain is stubborn, hydrogen peroxide breaks down the iron compounds that give blood its color. The secret is timing. If you treat the stain within 30 minutes, you've got the best chance of saving the fabric. Wait too long, and it's like trying to unbake bread. 25 grease stains. Grease is the enemy of every busy kitchen. The Amish have a double attack method. First, cover the stain with cornstarch. Let it sit for about 30 minutes. This pulls the oil out of the fibers. Then follow up with a little dish soap, which breaks down whatever grease remains. One big mistake: throwing the stained shirt into hot water before treating it. That locks the grease in permanently. Prevention also plays a role. Amish women wear aprons in the kitchen, and they always keep dish soap handy for surprise splatters. 26 sweat stains. If you've ever dealt with yellow marks on white shirts, you know how tough they can be. These come from aluminum in deodorants mixing with sweat. The Amish fix is simple. Soak the shirt overnight in an ammonia solution. This dissolves the buildup and restores the fabric. They also rotate shirts, often to prevent heavy buildup in certain areas. And here's a tip: switching to a non-aluminum deodorant makes future stains much easier to handle. 27 food and drink stains. Farm meals are hearty, but they're also messy. For protein-based stains like milk, eggs, or meat, the Amish again rely on cold water to stop the proteins from cooking into the fabric. For coffee, tea, or wine, a quick shake of salt can stop the liquid from sinking deep. Berry and fruit stains get a dose of lemon juice, which uses natural acidity to break down the pigments. For sticky stuff like chocolate, the trick is to harden it with ice first, then scrape it away before washing. 28 mud and dirt. Here's a rule that sounds strange: don't rush. If you scrub wet mud, it only spreads deeper into the fibers. Instead, Amish families let the mud dry completely, then scrape it away with a dull knife. Only after that do they soak the fabric in an enzyme solution that breaks down the organic matter. They know mud isn't just mud. Spring clay, summer dust, and farmyard soil all behave differently, so they adjust methods depending on the season. 29. Ink stains. In Amish schoolhouses, ink spills happen all the time. Their solution: alcohol-based products like rubbing alcohol, hairspray, or even hand sanitizer. These dissolve the ink, because most pens are made with alcohol-based dye, but there's a limit. If after 3 serious attempts the stain won't budge, keep scrubbing and you'll ruin the fabric worse than the ink did. Pro tip: always test on a hidden corner first, to make sure the alcohol won't damage delicate fabrics. 30. Mystery stains. Every household has these mysterious spots where you have no idea what caused. The Amish approach is patient and careful. They test small areas with mild solutions first, watching how the fabric reacts before going all in. With years of experience, Amish homemakers get so good at this, they can often guess the stain type just by the color, smell, or texture. Sometimes the smartest thing you can do with a stubborn stain is stop fighting it. Professional cleaning only makes sense when the fabric is more expensive than the cleaning bill, or when there's sentimental value that you just can't put a price on. And here's the truth: mystery stains are like unsolved crimes. You can spend hours investigating, but sometimes it's better to move on. Amish families know this well. They understand fabrics, and they know when a cloth can handle another cleaning attempt and when pushing further will only destroy it. They also keep notes of what works, kind of like a recipe book for stains, so the next time there's less guessing. 31. Reviving old stains. Now let's talk about ancient stains, the ones that have been sitting for months or even years. These are like old habits. You can change them, but it takes time, patience, and persistence. Amish homemakers never attack an old stain with harsh scrubbing. That just ruins the fabric. Instead, they soak it overnight, giving the cleaning solution time to slowly break down the bonds. But let's be real, once a stain is over a year old, the success rate drops to about 60% at best. Sometimes you'll only lighten the mark instead of removing it completely. And that's okay. A shirt that looks better is still more wearable than one you were ready to toss. 32. Natural bleaching, without chemicals. The Amish have long known how to bleach clothes naturally. Forget chlorine bleach. This is gentler, safer, and better for your fabrics. The oldest trick: lemon juice and sunlight. Together, they create a natural whitening effect. It's slow, but it works. In fact, Amish women say bleaching this way is like getting a tan. Patience and sunshine get the job done. Another method is soaking clothes in buttermilk, which contains natural lactic acid to brighten whites without damaging fibers. And for a little more power, hydrogen peroxide is used. It's much safer than chlorine bleach and won't eat through your clothes. The goal here is preservation, not quick fixes. Natural bleaching may take longer, but it helps fabrics last for years instead of wearing them out in months. 33. Wash less, wear longer. Here's a big one most people overlook. The Amish wash their clothes a lot less than we do. Why? Because overwashing breaks down fabric fibers faster than stains or sweat ever will. For example, jeans only need washing every 5 wears unless they're heavily soiled. In between, the Amish simply air clothes outside to remove odors naturally. Spot cleaning is also a favorite method. Why wash an entire shirt just because of a single stain? They also rotate clothes to prevent certain items from wearing out faster than others. By treating clothes like an investment, Amish families make garments last decades, not just seasons. 34. Repurposing worn fabrics. And when clothes finally reach the end of their life, the Amish don't just throw them away. Old shirts become cleaning rags, scraps become quilt patches, and buttons and zippers are carefully saved for future projects. They joke that old clothes are like retired athletes. They may not perform on the field anymore, but they've still got useful skills. This way, not a single piece of fabric goes to waste. Even tiny scraps can be used as padding for delicate laundry or to clean up spills. 35. Bulk buying and community savings. Here's another Amish secret: buy in bulk, but buy smart. Many Amish families team up and order their soap-making supplies together. By doing this, they can cut their costs by up to 40%. Bulk buying requires some storage planning though. Glass and metal containers keep supplies fresher than plastic, especially for items like washing soda that can last indefinitely if kept dry. This cooperative system not only saves money, but also builds community. Everyone gets what they need at a fraction of the cost. 36. Reusing wash water. If you thought they stop at soap savings, think again. Amish households are experts at conserving water too. They often reuse grey water from washing machines for garden irrigation or even for a second load of heavily soiled clothes. The trick is sequencing, washing lightly soiled clothes first, then using that same water for the tougher loads. Some even collect rinse water for the next wash. And rainwater? That's free. It's softer than well water, which means it doesn't leave behind those annoying hard water stains on clothes. Reusing water is like recycling gossip. What goes around comes around, only hopefully a little cleaner the second time. 37. The water factor. But before you try this at home, there's one step you can't skip. Test your water. Amish families know that water quality changes everything. Hard water with minerals like iron or sulfur can ruin laundry if you don't adjust your cleaning formulas. That's why they often use simple test strips which cost less than $20 to check pH and mineral levels. Sometimes they even install small filters to remove excess iron or chlorine that messes with natural cleaning ingredients. Every region has different water challenges, and knowing your water is the key to getting clean, fresh laundry without wasting supplies. 38. Seasonal laundry wisdom. Amish families don't just wash whenever, it's carefully planned around the season. In the summer, laundry is best done in the early morning. Why? Because electricity rates are lower, the air is cooler, and the clothes have plenty of sunshine for line drying. It's efficient and comfortable, all at once. Think of summer laundry like planning a vacation. Get the timing right, and everything feels smooth and stress-free. In winter, they adjust by combining loads to save on heating costs and to make the most of warm water. Spring is when deep cleaning creates extra laundry, so the Amish coordinate everything to avoid chaos. By fall, they focus on tackling summer stains before storing clothes away for the colder months. Seasonal awareness saves time, money, and fabric wear year after year. 39. Rotate clothing the Amish way. Another Amish trick: clothing rotation. Wearing the same shirt too often causes certain spots, like elbows, collars, or knees, to wear out quickly. By rotating outfits evenly, every garment lasts longer and keeps its shape. When not in use, clothes are hung properly, so they don't get creases that require ironing. A good airing outdoors refreshes them naturally, removing body odors without harsh sprays or unnecessary washing. Amish families even give fabrics rest periods between wears, which allows fibers to recover, keeping them stronger for years. 40. Protecting buttons and zippers. Buttons and zippers may seem small, but they're the first parts of clothes to give out. The Amish know this, so they always zip up and button clothes before washing. That simple habit prevents snagging, broken zippers, or loose threads. Here's the truth: zippers are like relationships. They work best when you keep them closed during rough times. For delicate clothes, mesh bags add another layer of protection, keeping small items safe from the rough drum of the machine. And before washing, Amish seamstresses always check for loose buttons or weak stitches, so they can be fixed before the machine makes the damage worse. 41. Smart use of mesh bags. Mesh bags aren't just about protecting lace or silk, they're also problem solvers. Socks pinned or bagged together never go missing. Goodbye sock mystery. Bras and underwear keep their elastic shape longer when washed in a bag. Even tiny items like hair ties, buttons, or handkerchiefs can be kept safe inside. When placed strategically, mesh bags also help balance the load, stopping everything from clumping together and making sure every piece gets a proper wash. 42. Guarding clothes from summer heat. The Amish also think carefully about storage conditions. Heat and sunlight break down fabric fibers over time, making clothes fade, weaken, or even grow mildew. That's why Amish families use basements or root cellar style storage, where the earth keeps temperatures cool and steady year-round. Humidity control is just as important. Too much moisture invites mold, too little makes fabrics brittle. Periodically airing stored clothes keeps them fresh and prevents long-term damage. 43. Cornstarch for crisp results. When it comes to starching collars and cuffs, Amish homemakers reach for something simple. A tablespoon mixed with water creates the same results as store-bought starch, but for pennies instead of dollars. Why pay extra? As they say, commercial starch is like designer water. You're just paying more for something you could make at home. Cornstarch gives clothes a crisp, professional look without harsh chemicals that irritate skin or damage fabric. 44. Repair before replacing. Here's a golden rule in Amish homes. If repairing costs less than 30% of replacing, repair. A missing button, loose seam, or small tear can be fixed in minutes with basic mending skills, and those little fixes extend a garment's life for years. Professional repairs are reserved for expensive items, coats, suits, heirlooms, where quality makes it worth the investment. Everyday shirts and trousers. Amish families mend those at home with needle and thread. It's budget-friendly, practical, and deeply satisfying. 45. Organized storage. Finally, Amish closets are organized like a well-played game of Tetris. Every piece has its place, and nothing gets crushed or forgotten. Before clothes are stored, they're always washed thoroughly, because food particles and body oils attract moths. To protect them long-term, Amish families use natural pest deterrents like cedar blocks and lavender sachets. It's chemical-free, smells fresh, and keeps destructive insects away. 46. Space-saving storage. Amish homes are often filled with big families, so closet space has to stretch. They fold clothes smartly, use vacuum bags, and organize vertically, so every inch counts. Seasonal rotation also keeps things neat. Summer clothes get stored away when winter comes, and vice versa. That way, closets never get overcrowded. Of course, clean storage is the key to keeping pests away. Moths love sweat, oils and food particles, so Amish families wash items before storage and place natural deterrents like cedar and lavender. 47. Boiling for heavy dirt. When clothes are really caked in dirt, farm overalls, greasy work shirts, normal washing won't cut it. That's when Amish families use the old copper kettle boiling method. They boil the clothes outdoors over wood or gas, which strips away ground-in dirt, grease, and even odors. Cotton and linen hold up well, but wool or synthetics can't handle the heat. Safety always comes first. Good ventilation, careful fire management, and protective gloves. It's an old-fashioned trick, but for tough stains, boiling beats bleach. 48. Brushing wool, like a poodle. Wool is delicate, it hates too much water. Instead of overwashing, the Amish brush wool garments with natural bristle brushes to remove dirt and realign fibers. Think of it like grooming a fancy poodle. A few gentle strokes, and everything looks fluffy and expensive again. This keeps wool strong by preserving its natural oils. Heavier wools need more brushing pressure, while fine ones require a gentler hand. Either way, less washing means longer life. 49. Neighbors who wash together. Laundry isn't just a chore, it's community time. Amish neighbors often coordinate their wash days, helping each other with big loads. They share equipment, split bulk soap ingredients, or even share clotheslines during busy seasons. It's not just about saving money, it's about strengthening bonds. If someone falls sick, others step in. It's a system that shows how a little teamwork makes the heaviest chores lighter. 50. Seam checks before disaster. The Amish have a simple habit: check seams before washing. A tiny loose stitch, left unchecked, can turn into a ripped seam after one rough spin cycle. Think of it like checking the foundation before building a second story. It's always better to fix small problems early. A few quick stitches save hours of repairs or even prevent losing the garment complete. Pressing with hot stones. When irons aren't available, or when electricity costs too much, the Amish use heated stones to press clothes. Smooth, dense rocks are warmed in the oven, fire, or hot water, then wrapped in cloth to protect the fabric. The steady heat and weight smooth wrinkles beautifully, especially on heavy fabrics like wool or canvas. Sometimes old ways really do beat modern gadgets. Indoor air drying by priority. Winter weather doesn't stop laundry. When drying indoors, the Amish prioritize by need. Work clothes go first, since farmers need dry, clean garments daily. Sunday clothes get careful attention to stay spotless for church. It's a bit like hospital triage. The most urgent cases come first. Clever placement near heat, windows or good airflow helps speed drying without damaging fabrics. Perfecting your system. At the end of the day, Amish laundry isn't about perfection overnight. It's about small improvement. Families tweak their systems over time, matching them to household size, local climate, and available equipment. And the payoff? Huge. With these methods, Amish families can slash laundry costs from $300 a year down to just $20 using ingredients they already own. Clothes last decades longer, and waste is kept to a minimum. Start with just 1 or 2 of these hacks today, and you'll notice your clothes looking fresher, lasting longer, and your laundry bills shrinking fast.